Hey everybody, it's TF Nut. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This is going to be of the Star Wars The Black Series GameStop exclusive gaming grade Star Wars Battlefront 2 Jet Trooper. Really disappointed that they're not going to do a Battlefront 3. I really liked Battlefront 2. I liked playing as the Jet Trooper a good amount. It's cool to have it in figure form here, so that's pretty awesome. Usually the gaming grade stuff like, Jedi Fallen Order as well as Battlefront 2, they're GameStop exclusives. Kind of makes sense since games is their whole thing. Anyway, without further ado, I want to jump right into packaging. It's very standard what we have with Black Series by now. Stars the Black Series towards the top half. You do get the figure in the box as well as some of the contents you see there. On the bottom half here, you see the Gaming Great sticker. It's a little hard to see in person because it's so shiny. So, I have my, you can see my hands kind of in front there so you can kind of see it better. Star Wars Battlefront 2, as well as Jet Trooper, Choking Hazard, ages 4 and up, and the Hasbro logo. On this side here, there's not much going on besides the top there. It says Gaming Grades Black Series. That's the logo right there. We have a little bit of blue as well as Star Wars The Black Series. Now on this side, very cool illustration of the character right there with a little bit of blue towards the bottom. Very nice. On the top, there's not much, just a window box. Now here's a full view of the back, as you can see here. Just give you a quick look of that. When we zoom in towards the top half, it says Star Wars The Black Series, the character on the right side again, as well as Battlefront 2. A little read above the Jet Trooper if you want to pause and read that right now. When we get to the bottom half here, it says number 6, Gaming Great Star Wars Battlefront 2. Multilingual warnings and whatnot here. And then on the bottom, there's the barcode in case you need it. Let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging. So here's the figure out of the packaging. Before I continue, Hasbro did do a bit of a mess up, because if you look here, I mean, these are fixed now, but these lower calves were swapped with each other. So this was here, that was here. I have since swapped them back properly, but you might be able to tell I've kind of destroyed the little pins a bit. I didn't have the proper tools really to push this outward, and even then I had to heat this thing up like crazy to get all this through. Hopefully none of the plastic is too damaged, and I swap the feet too. I don't know why a multi-million-dollar company like Hasbro has problems like this, but that's where we're at with this figure. I think yours, from what I've seen online, yours and a lot of people's are going to be like that too. Anyway, the rest of this is nice though. Let's take a look at the accessories, then we'll take a close look at the figure. So he comes with a standard clone blaster pistol, looking pretty nice, just sculpted, molded in this black casted plastic here. It looks pretty good. It's always looked pretty good though. And just quickly insert it like so, and it's quite easy for him to hold his blaster pistol. We have this here, which is very much, trying to focus up here, this is very much the Jango Fett, the Jango Fett jetpack. I wish they just took these off, to be quite honest. These serve no purpose on this particular figure. It still looks good. I don't really blame them, I guess, for using the jetpack again. I don't really know if this is completely accurate to how the Jet Troopers jetpacks looks. I mean, right now, I don't really care too much, if I'm being quite honest. The paint deco on here is really nice. It's mostly molded in a white plastic, but we do have some dark gray and some light blue going on there. I think that looks overall pretty nice. Slipping this onto the back, you can see there's a hole there, and yeah, you just see right there those little prongs that stick out. They don't really serve a purpose. They don't have any. The back armor isn't large enough to for anything to peg into, so they just kind of stick out to me. But from the front, you can't notice them, so it's fine. But that's what it looks like on the back. If you're expecting a lot of different compared to previous clone troopers, you will be sadly disappointed. Now, one thing I can tell you is that I think the paint decos are nice, but first let's talk about some things about this figure. First of all, yes, this is primarily the older clone body mold, which I've had my gripes with. However, this works for this figure, honestly, and it has they've kit bashed some stuff basically, or retooled some things to where the torso, I believe, no, it doesn't have the new torso would be on a butterfly joint, I believe. So they retooled this so it has the new type of head system where there's a ball joint going into the body and then a ball joint going into the head. And the head, it's just a plain white cast, as you can see there. Not an actual removable helmet, but the helmet covers that. Other than that, they've retooled these shoulders and arms years ago to where it allows better movement for the, compensates for the shoulder armor as well. And then, like I said, we talk about these. I switched them before this part of the video, so you don't get to see what they looked like. But they did not look natural. These shin pieces. I did pop these out using a hair dryer, popping back in. It was extremely difficult for me. You really need to heat these bad boys up, just without trying to accidentally melt the plastic. Sometimes I definitely would recommend you use hot water and boiling water and whatnot. Um, but as you can see, I didn't do the greatest job. You'll need a proper tool to push these out because you can see I left really bad indents on these joints here, which is unfortunate. They're not the worst thing in the world, not super noticeable, but for me, yeah, it's a little. I wish I did a little bit better overall, sadly. But what else can I talk about? Because again, if I zoom out, this thing we've gotten this plenty of years ago, multiple times. The older clone body. And I've had my gripes with it, but this time around, it works really well for this particular trooper. And I really like the paint decos, especially on the helmet. There's a little bit of some splotching on the chest. You can't really notice it too much right now, actually. A little bit going up around, around here and here. It's really not that noticeable. A little bit on the back of the legs. I might have done that when I was switching out the shins. But yeah, I really do like the paint decos that we have for the helmet. Trying to focus up again. Nice silver. You'd see around the mouthpieces, and some of the red and the blue really contrast well together. So there's that dark gray going around the helmet too. I believe we've gotten this sculpt before with the helmet as well. The blue going onto the chest is done really nice. Not much going on the back, but the rest of it, like the blue on the shoulder pieces, I think there might be a little bit of a chip of the plastic. No, that was just excess plastic. So I thought it chipped on the paint, but it did not. So that's good. And then we do get the rest of this here. A little bit of blue on the elbow. All the blue and whatnot is really nicely painted. Decent sculpting on, stuff we already have basically. Belt piece seems a little bit more loose than normal, but it will not fall off by any means. And then we get down here. All this nice blue going up to the upper legs, going into the lower legs too. One thing I do wish they did was that they could have maybe trimmed these like some of the clone commanders, I believe, have. That would have been nice. So, sorry if I'm not too talkative. It's just, as you can see, the back of the hole right there is different from a lot of clones that don't have that. But there's just not much to say. It's a clone trooper that has this particular paint deco with some of its accessories, with a few newer parts, onto the older clone body. So there's not much to really talk about there. We've gotten this years ago. It would be a waste of time if you just went through in depth everything. So give you a quick look at everything. Zoomed in though, as you can see. I did breeze through this a little too quick. Again, all the sculpting, a lot of the sculpting from before, I was pretty okay with. So that's good at least. Articulation, it allows for this type of system to bob side to side. Up and down is not amazing, but we do have a swivel. Again, it's that ball joint system I was talking about earlier. Arms go outward that much. That's really nice. They go all the way around. They go, they swivel at the upper arm. We do have double jointed elbows. Swivel through as well as a up and down hinge here and an in and out hinge here. It's a little bit loose on this hand. We have a ball joint waist that can go all the way around and swivel and whatnot, side to side a little bit. I think some of the plastic might be chipped right there. Not entirely sure what's going on. Do have legs that it really does not want to go forward with the leg armor, but you still have to rotate it like this to make it go out. And back kind of, but not a lot. In and out like so. Upper thigh swivel. You do get the double jointed knees, as you can see right there. And these actually, I don't know if it was me heating these up or the figure itself, but the knees are pretty tight. And the feet are pretty tight. They don't want to go down at all. They go up ever so slightly, and they have an ankle rocker. Quick side comparison on the left, that is Black Suit Spider-Man for the newest Retro Collection Spider-Man line. And on the far right, we do have the very first ever Mando from Black Series. As you can see, standard size Black Series figures. Like the figures in the center and on the right, they're going to be about the same height. Clone Trooper might be a little bit taller than Mando, and they're both going to be shorter than Marvel Legends. You can't see it super well in this image here, But he is wearing the jetpack. I do want to mention that it's a little bit top heavy, where he wants to fall back a little bit. Just bend the feet ever so slightly forward and it should be fine. So that's it for this review. It's pretty short because, to be quite honest, once you see one clone, you kind of see them all, man. It's not a bad figure by any means. There's just not much new to go over besides paint decos and the different types of accessories. So I do think while those prongs that stick out, that go on the back, are a little distracting, at least for me, they don't really get in the way that much if I'm actually wearing the jetpack. So it fits on there nice and also looks pretty good. Nice blaster. That's about it. Maybe could have come with an extra weapon or something. Not entirely sure. But the paint deco on the figure is really nice. And I've talked bad about the previous clone body before, but when it's retooled sometimes, and sometimes it just works, sometimes it doesn't. It works for this guy here, so I'm glad it did work out. It makes me like the figure a lot more. Pretty decent articulation like normal and whatnot. Just not much different to go over. We've gotten this type of figure basically for the past couple of years, just with new accessories and a little bit different head articulation. So that's pretty much it for the review. It's a GameStop exclusive, a little over $25. I'll try to leave a link down in the description below if it's still available there. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what the figure would do about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.